and welcome to another episode of HouseSmarts. I'm Lou Manfredini. I'm so glad you're here with us today because we're going to be talking about back to basics. You know, things that your grandparents and your parents thought of as common knowledge. You'll be surprised to see how many people are trying to live a simpler life. Come with me. So one way you get back to basics is by doing some canning. I'm joined by Kathy Irway. Now, you just wrote a book called
The Art of Eating In, How I Learned to Stop Spending and Love the Stove.
And you spent 2 years of not eating out and really cooking at home.
Absolutely.
And
yeah,
you found it to be, I mean, I know the book really details a lot of different adventures that you had, but one of them is you learned how to can.
Yes, I did. And it was a new, fun challenge for me. I didn't really grow up in a household that did a lot of jams or canning. It was really fun to learn how to do it, and it's really easy. And also, it was very economical. Sometimes you'd have leftover tomatoes, for instance.
Right.
And you throw them in a jar, and now you have them preserved for a really long time.
Well, let's talk about these tomatoes. How difficult is it to do the canning?
Well, this is really simple. I had a lot of tomatoes yesterday, so I made 10 jars of this. And this is a fresh tomato sauce. So I coarsely chopped up the tomatoes. I added a clove of garlic or two to the whole pot, got them boiling for about 10 minutes, and a little bit of lemon juice at the end. And I filled all the jars with them. And afterwards, you want to screw on the lids and stick them back in the pot so it'll boil all around the jars for another 10 minutes or so the lid seals. And then you're done.
Are you finding people, friends of yours, contemporaries that are kind of getting into this as well?
I am, and I think I pretty much learned it from other friends of mine in my generation. And it's something that has taken on, and I think it's a positive trend.
Right. Well, it's definitely a great way to save money. I was looking here, you've made a jam, which looks absolutely delicious. Again, that's not difficult to make either.
It's not hard at all. This is actually a raspberry plum jam, two fruits that I just happened to have a lot of one day. So I combine them together, and it only has a little bit of sugar and lemon juice. And the great thing about doing this is that you don't have any mysterious chemicals or preservatives. And you can really have fun with it too. You can add like something like basil, like I did recently, and just mix it up.
And for those who have the space, obviously, if you're a gardener, you can create your own vegetables, and you really know from start to finish what it is you're putting inside your body.
Yeah. Absolutely, and that's something I've gotten into too.
All right, you know what? I think I'm going to give it a shot.
Okay.
So my friend Keenan was telling me that he and his family actually raise chickens. I thought it was a crazy idea, but it turns out there's this whole urban chicken culture. People are getting back to basics by raising chickens. Well, I'm here in the middle of Brooklyn with my new friend Martha, who's doing that very same thing. So Martha, I have to ask you, what do the neighbors think about you raising chickens?
They think I'm the crazy chicken lady.
I mean, we're in the heart of the city here, and we're looking back here. You've got a couple of cute chickens. Well, what was the catalyst for you to start doing this?
A number of things. I love animals to begin with, and I really wanted my daughter to know where her food came from, besides just the grocery store.
It is amazing the amount of people that are going to do this. And in talking with you, it isn't that difficult, is it?
No. No, I kind of say that it's in between the work of having a dog or a cat. I have to go out and check on them, but it's about 5 minutes a day. Very simple.
Now, out here in your backyard, you've got this little pen going here, and they're walking around. There is no odor. I mean, people would think, oh my gosh, the smelly chickens. And you said to clean the pen is really not a big deal.
No. I got a coop that is very easy to clean. That was a very important thing. I put down wood chips, and the rain washes it down, and if the rain doesn't, I hose it down. But here in Brooklyn, we have very small yards, so we couldn't have anything that would be too smelly or disruptive.
So tell me what you feed these things, and then also, how often do they lay eggs?
Well, they eat just about everything, and I sort of jokingly call them the little goats. They eat an organic pellet, which has corn and different grains in it.
Right.
And then they eat our kitchen scraps. And the wonderful thing is I'll let them out in the garden. They like to eat the grass, but they like to eat slugs and other kinds of creepy crawlies that I don't want in my garden.
And that makes for good eggs?
It makes for delicious eggs. The eggs are much higher in beta-carotenes, and they're lower in cholesterol than store-bought eggs.
Now tell me about the quantity of eggs. I mean, are you literally like, oh my gosh, Mom, do we have to have eggs again? I mean, is it like that?
Not so much. They lay about 5 eggs each a week. It's about 1 a day with a couple days off.
Martha, thank you so much. Very interesting stuff.
My pleasure.
All right, we're going to have more Back to Basics coming up, but right now, take a look at this green piece.